I thought today would be a good day to design a character in the Tim Burton style of drawing. I'm gonna get some designs happening and see where we go from there. So I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton. I love his movies. The biggest movie that I love the most from him is Nightmare Before Christmas. I have actually got Jack and Sally tattooed on one half of my back, and it's the whole side of my back. So that's how much I am a massive fan of the Nightmare Before Christmas, and especially Sally and Jack. So yeah, I thought, you know, this is just such a fitting thing for me to do, is to, you know, just design something that would be in a Tim Burton movie. Yeah, that's what I've decided to do today. That's my challenge. And the first thing that, you know, with any drawing challenge is, and something that I miss out on a lot because I don't tend to do this, because I'm a very impatient person, and I do skip quite a few steps with things, and sometimes that's my downfall, but I don't seem to learn. I don't learn from those mistakes. So yeah, the biggest thing is to actually study Tim Burton's style. That's the first thing. So I did that last night, and I looked at quite a few ways that he has done his characters, especially in The Corpse Bride and in Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's where I've sort of taken inspiration from to create a completely new character that doesn't exist. It's just something that I'm making up. That's my own little character in the Tim Burton style. So I've decided to use, I was going to use my Canson paper today, but I've really been enjoying this Reeves mixed media pad. I just find that, I don't know, it's like a better texture. Like, I honestly thought the Canson was a better paper, but I don't know, this has really sold me. Let's see, let's get designing. So yeah, like I mentioned before, the first thing to do is yeah, study the Tim Burton way of drawing. So like I said, I did that last night. I already had a look at a few things. I didn't do any trial runs. I just, you know, picked some collective, you know, pictures of my own, and decided to just sit down, film this, and just do everything right now, because that's just what I like to do. I like to live on the edge. This pen is broken. This thing has fallen on the floor about 10 times in the last couple of days. I think it's not healthy anymore. So the first thing that's very notable about Tim Burton's style is the faces and the eyes. So typically for my character, I'm going to make a female character. First of all, we will start with a general body shape. So the biggest thing you do is probably, if you have an idea of a pose, just Google like a pose, just get some Google images up and have a look at how people are standing, how certain women are standing, and then you find a pose that you like and you just sort of go from there. So there's one particular pose that I didn't mind. Arms are sort of hanging down, and, you know, one leg is going to be out like that a bit, and the other one's just going to be sort of straight down. Alright, so that is just a very, very rough idea of how she's going to be standing, and I have a tendency to do stuff too low on the page. I might even have to lift her up a bit, just depending on how I go. The next step is that I'm going to focus on is the head and the shape of, you know, the faces that Tim Burton likes to do. So it's more of a really very round at the top, and then sort of just goes into like a V. Some of them are very long. Some of the faces are very long, especially in The Corpse Bride with Victor. I know he has a pretty long face. But yeah, a lot of the females, you know, have the real sort of alien type head, and then the smaller you know, the smaller chins and yeah, like a smooth diamond at the bottom. So that's the general shape there. So now the next thing is the eyes. The eyes are just so big and round, and you know what I'm like, I like to draw big soulless eyes. We'll just draw some eyes in, just to see how I'm sort of feeling it. We might make her a little bit evil, a little bit slow. And we'll just draw in the eyelashes, those real long, just creepy sort of eyelashes. I won't draw any little dots in her eyes yet because I don't know what direction she's going to be looking in. Alright, so the next thing with Tim Burton is his characters have got little tiny noses. Very tiny little nose. I might just do like a really little upturned nose. Better give her some eyebrows. And the next thing is the mouth. So now, quite a few variations with the mouth, so I might just, you know, wing it here and just draw something that I just want to do. Just that little more like a bitch, pretty much. So, so we're gonna create a character. So the vibe I've got for the character now is she's going to be not very nice. So I've really got to capture that real, you know, resting bitch face type, you know, face. So the next thing we're going to do is really emphasize the really long neck. So his characters like to have pretty long necks. As for her hair, I'm going to think about that for a little bit. But while we're here, we will do a bit of a structure now for the arms. This arm, I want to sort of go up a little bit because I want it to be sort of, you know, leaning to this one side like that. Sort of like, yeah, it's just like a, I don't care, sort of, you know, I don't care what you think about me type pose. So I'm hoping to capture anyway. I don't know if I'm going to do it successfully. But we'll see. A lot of Tim Burton's characters do have really long arms, so I'm gonna do really long arms. So we'll sort of drop this shoulder down a little bit more. So this arm is going to fall behind the body a little bit more. And it's always good to do an outline of the body, even though you're going to be putting clothes over the top. It's always, like, I find that when I try to draw clothes without a body reference underneath, it's really hard. So you're best to just quickly outline the body, just like this. It doesn't need to be detailed. You just get a general idea of how tiny the waist is going to be, how bulgy the hips are going to be, and that's pretty much it. And then you draw the clothes, you know, from there. So she's going to be, I'm not going to make her a flowy character, she's just going to be quite stiff because she's going to be very, well, she's going to be very zombie-like. Just a quick sort of sketch of what the hand's going to look like. So there we go, that's the general gist of the character. So next thing I want to work on is, I probably should do the hair. I should just tackle that first. But I'm thinking curly style because I want to sort of work on hair a bit, so I might do like a curly style of hair. Might give her the devil V. Probably should get a reference for this, but I'm just gonna wing it and see how we go. If not, I'll just erase it and start again. So we won't go too crazy because I've still got to draw the shirts, so I'll just get like a general gist of what her hair is going to be like. So yeah, that's going to be the general gist of her hair. Alright, we'll work on her top first now. So I did quite a bit of research on Victorian dresses and shirts and that. So yeah, so I want to keep it that old school creepy Tim Burton vibe. Alright, so I'm thinking like puffy, like little tiny puffy shoulder bits just at the ends. Poof. Just like that. And then this particular shirt that I got a reference for has a curved part here that goes down to the waist, and it has buttons. Big buttons. Just a note to yourselves, don't drop your mechanical pencil on the floor. It is no good for them. That is the shirt right there. It's got quite a few rows of ruffles. Row of ruffles, which is, oh, I need to work on my ruffles. Yes, alright. We'll just finish, we'll finish the sleeves, because the sleeves go down and into another ruffle. Might keep it simple. I might just give her like just a nice sort of flat skirt. Really want to capture some really long creepy fingers. So now we're gonna draw some boots. I'm gonna give her some boots. So I'm gonna like just give, I know that the feet and the characters of Tim Burton are quite small. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to make them too small. I'm just gonna give her like a normal foot sort of, some buckles on the boots just to make them look cool. Oh, I just made the feet just on the page. Now we get back to this hair. It's time to just lessen the line art. So I like to get my kneaded eraser and I like to do this. So it's all rolled out like that, and then I stick it on top just like that, and then I do the same thing. And this just takes the edge off the lead, so you can go over it alright with the fine liner. Because if you have too much lead on the fine liner, it's sort of, yeah, it sort of, I find that it clogs up your fine liner a bit as well, the lead. Plus it doesn't make it very pleasant to draw over anyway. Alright, so I'm going to be using my uni pen because these are waterproof, you know, and you can, I'm going to use some watercolor with this piece today. So these are the best. Like, I'm happy with using these. I wouldn't actually go to anything else. I tried an Artline pen, and I tried to use it with watercolors the other night, and it just went psh. It was awful, and it kind of destroyed my picture, which I worked very hard on. Oh, I really screwed that hand up. Oh, I did this one too. So that is my character. Let's just rub out all of the excess lines. Alright, now we decide what colours we're going to do her. You know, I'm sort of feeling, I am feeling a red vibe with the hair. What I'm going to do with the skin is I'm going to keep it like a Corpse Bride inspired sort of skin colour. I'm going to go with like a bluey grey colour. God, I'm really not happy with those hands. I've really screwed up the hands on this piece. Very salad fingery looking. Yeah. God, I'm really shaky handed today. I think I've really tapped into the Sally vibe here, and I didn't mean to. I've just created another version of Sally. These things just subconsciously happen. How original. A black top. Now, what colour am I going to do that skirt? So I wonder what purple would look like a darker purple mixed in with the black here. You think I would learn colour theory too, wouldn't you? I think me doing that skirt purple is not, it's not working. It's alright, we will revisit that later, but I'm going to move on to the buckles. Just remind me to put the dots on this buckle later, if I forget, because I'm really good at leaving stuff out of my pictures, and then a couple of days later I am like, oh, I just posted that on Instagram and didn't even add that to it. You know what? I'm feeling that skirt to be brown, just to sort of tie it in with the buckles. So far, I'm not 100% happy with this picture. I've committed now, I've got to keep going. Shading to some areas now. Look at me blaming the brushes for my crappy artwork. Let's just start attacking this with my gold Sharpie. Nope, sorry, silver Sharpie. Do her buttons silver. And do the buckles on the boots. Her hands really blend in down the bottom here. They really blend in. Oh. So I'm just going to go back over a few places and make it a little bit darker. From where the watercolour sort of dulled it a little bit. And see if I can get some more definition in those hands. Like make them come forward a little bit because they are shocking. They are so bad. They just blend in. It's like she doesn't even have hands. They're just nothing. Can't get the shading right. Now to finish her off with the white gel pen and hope to God that this kind of saves the picture. I remember the dots on the buckle. Yep. Alright, I think I'm done. I think I'm done. And I think my pen's done too. So that is my character that I created in the Tim Burton style. And yeah, she's not very nice. She's not a very nice person. And I think I'm gonna name her Agatha. I think that's a badass name. I think that's an evil name. I think that's a pretty evil name. So yes, although yes, there's aspects of it I'm not overly happy with. I had an absolute ball doing this. This was actually really fun because, you know, I created her, a character, you know, that doesn't exist, that, you know, I wanted to do in a Tim Burton style. So Tim Burton, you know, if you want to contact me to, you know, discuss if you want to add her to one of your movies or another clay animation, or let me know. I'm being too ambitious. So yeah, I highly recommend that you guys try this. Try to design a character, you know, in the Tim Burton style. Yeah, it was just really fun. That's all I've got to say. And yeah, I'll have to work on a lot of things, but that is the final picture-rooney right there. So that is it from me and Agatha, and we are going to go and I'm going to have some lunch and let her dry, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.